Hello class, how you doing today? I've got a couple of announcements that I want to share with you. Number one, gonna have a website coming out soon. All right, so you guys will be able to kind of see this progression of the channel going, and this is also going to be motivation for my middle school students and other younger people around my age that are trying to learn how to become successful in this new technology world. So this channel is literally going to be documenting not only helping families with their finances, but also showing the process to success, the process to serving, to leading people, to becoming a leader in your own personal development, right? And the second thing I wanted to mention is I've had a lot of people asking me about shirts. Yo, Denzel, I want to wear what you got. Send me the link. All right, don't worry, I'm gonna have some designs coming out for you guys. Be selling some merch. You guys can support, walk around, conversation starter. Someone's like, hey, what's velocity banking? You'd be like, yo, you gotta learn this velocity banking thing. Okay, it's gonna save your life. It's gonna help your finances become financially free. Oh my God. All right. So that'll be for all my families and all my loyal fans, loyal contributors, and Patreons. All right. Today's lesson is going to be on the infinite banking concept and velocity banking as well. So there's a video I did for this scenario, for this person right here, husband and wife, okay, couple out of Texas area, and the video is called Velocity Banking is a Lifestyle. I'll have the link for it. You definitely want to watch that first before watching this, okay? So watch that video first, come back to this, and it's gonna like make sense, okay? So the infinite banking concept has to do with acquiring a life insurance policy as an asset to use just like a line of credit, okay? But in this sense, with a life insurance policy, there's a portion where not only are you receiving this guaranteed death benefit, but you're also going to be earning interest no matter what on your money, even when you use the money, right? So you know how when we pull from a line of credit, you have to pay interest, right? Very little, but you still have to pay interest. Well, with a life insurance policy built up over time or in a very short period of time, depending on how much money an individual has, you're able to pull this money, right? And the interest from the loan that you would naturally get charged would offset because of the interest that you're actually earning on your money. So there's this mathematical arbitrage that takes place where you're able to use money, grow the money tax-free, and then this money be out here using it to what? Pay debts, start a business, invest, all types of different things, acquire land, real estate. So let's dive into the example here. Continuing from my lovely couple, their income from the very beginning, okay, of doing velocity banking is $9,568.06, and their expenses starting out was $7,497.12, starting out with a debt of $372,000, with a cash flow anywhere from $2,200 to as high as $3,000. Okay, so in the previous video, I was running a scenario how I'm using a unsecured line of credit for $12,000 at this interest rate with this cash flow, $2,070.94. Okay, and within a 12-month period, I showed how I'm going to wipe out particular debts to increase their cash flow quite a bit. So I wrote right here, this was the the total increase on top of that money right there, okay? And in the process, because I lowballed them on cash flow to begin with, we have this space right here of cash flow. So what her and I decided to do, and what she wants, she's like, all right, Denzel, I'm going to be doing velocity banking with that money, which is going to get me debt free in 5 years or less. Simultaneously, I want to be acquiring my life insurance policy on both me and my husband, and we're going to build our wealth at the same time that we're paying off debts. The only time I recommend this is when we have good cash flow, okay? Because when we have really good cash flow, guess what? I'm able to flow the money even faster through the line of credit. So if you're thinking, okay, Denzel, are we basically gonna be running the policies as an expense through the line of credit? Yes, totally. I am not gonna use her cash to acquire her life insurance assets. Instead, I'm gonna show her how I'm gonna use the line of credit while doing velocity banking to acquire these policies right here, and then become debt free over a 5-year period, and then continue to increase the amounts of money that we're putting in. All right, so stay with me. So I just wanted to lay that out right there. Okay, so first year or so of cash flow of doing velocity banking total, she's gonna have this $32,000 right here. Meanwhile, we're using this line of credit to, like I said, wipe out plenty of debt. So let's talk about the policies that we designed for her and her husband. So here's wife, here's husband. They're both the same exact policies, meaning the amount of money that we're putting into each one, all right? So for a 57-year-old individual, and this is really interesting, right? That even though they're older in age, it will not affect the cost of insurance on them, even though naturally across the board, whenever you get life insurance, typically the older you get, the more it costs. Like that is like a standard. And then the opposite, the younger you are, the cheaper it is. But see, when we're designing life insurance for the infinite banking concept, age is really not a factor. The only thing that matters is how much money do you have, how much money do you want to store, put into this, and for how long. And then a death benefit gets calculated, which allows us to have this extreme amount of growth in our cash value. Okay, so I just want to lay that out as well. So both policies, we're putting in $5,000 a year. Okay, she has a MEC limit, stands for Modified Endowment Contract, which is the max amount of money that she can put into a policy in any given year. Okay, so that's $15,000, $15,000. Then she is going to pay her policies quarterly. So quarterly is $1294.52, and over here it's a penny less, and they're both going to equal, you know, about 51, almost 5,200 bucks. Okay. Now, typically for women live longer than men, so the cost of insurance will be cheaper even for the same amount that we're putting in. Notice how hers is $242, his is $212. Okay, and that's just standards. It doesn't even have to do with health. If her health is really, really good, then her policy goes up. Even if his health is really, really good, it'll never reach what the wife is, just because of mortality rates. Okay? So, conservatively, if we're doing velocity banking, right, wiping out this 372 in a very short period of time, right, 5 years or less, and our cash flow is going to go all the way to like 4,400, almost $5,000 a month, right? I wrote this number right here, that in 5 years or less, her cash flow will increase from that to that. Not bad at all, right? For this family, not bad at all. And then even with very little increases and raises, that number will change drastically as well, okay? So I wrote conservatively, if all she did was put away to store $5,000 using the line of credit each and every year for 5 years, okay, her cash value in both policies will be anywhere from 19 to 25,000 cash value. Depends on, you know, maybe 1 year she puts like $7,000 into hers, and then, you know, $8,000 into his, or, you know, or vice versa. So I was like, conservatively, cash value will be anywhere from 19 to 25K. And that's basically the amount of money that she put into the policy, right? 5 times 5 is 25,000, right? So within a 5-year period, her money will match what she put in, even though she has a life insurance premium on both policies. Isn't that interesting, right? How that works, okay? So then what I did was show the death benefit increase. So she goes from 242 to 254, just about. He goes from 212 to 222. Not bad, okay? Very conservative, like I said. If she puts 1 year, she puts 10K, then everything changes on the board, right? Her cash value will grow a lot faster. So I just wrote after 5 years on both policies, okay, from age 63, because you figure a 5-year, you know, or so period, I just wrote them both being around 63, you know, 62, 63 years old to 73 years old. Mind you, they'll be debt-free, so I'll have this huge definite cash flow increase per month. Plus my line of credit, her line of credit will double, right? Or even go anywhere from as high as like 30K, okay? And that's something that I did explain as well in the other video. So check this out. For the next 10 years, right? So first 5 years, putting in $5,000 each and every year, right? After 5 years, we're completely debt free, no more debt, completely wiped out that 372. Cash on hand goes up quite a bit. Then for the next 10 years, I said, all right, look, conservatively, if we put 13K a year into each policy, that's a total of $26,000, okay? Over a 10-year period, the amount of money going into each policy would be about $155,000 into each policy, right? And that's, again, flowing this money through the line of credit so that we what? Never lose our cash flow in the process. So cool. And then if you figure over a total of 5 and 10 years, right? So a total of a 15-year period, both policies would be growing anywhere from 4 to 6.5% or higher. The reason why I say or higher is when interest rates rise, so do interest rate dividends on life insurance policies. So she gets to be on the other side, right? While everyone else is complaining about high interest rates, she's like, I don't care. I'm debt free, number one. And number two, my money's making more money. Okay? So you can't go wrong. So over a 15-year period, what I wrote is some results that are, I mean, like so secure, right? So number one, by her paying off her mortgage and other debts, she'll have about $300,000 in equity in her property over a 15-year period, 300,000 plus, right? So that's a home equity line of credit right there that she can what? Right? Do some moves with, okay? Second, she'll have a 30,000 plus or maybe a few lines of credits to her name, right? That's her credit. That's her capital built up over a 5-year period doing velocity banking, right? And that's just an addition. That's a feature, right? When you start doing velocity banking, naturally your credit score just pumps up like crazy. Conservatively, over a 15-year period, conservatively, she'll have in each policy 200,000 plus in each policy, right? She initially put in 155, right? And I'm like totally lowballing this so bad, because if you really did the math, 155,000, and then growing, right, putting 13K a year at 4 to 6.5% over a 15-year period, that money should like almost double what the contribution was, or at least be damn near close. And then on top of that, look at this. Her death benefit will always be more than her cash value. The cash value is always going to chase the death benefit, right? And then here's the other really, really cool thing about doing velocity banking. Remember how I said she never loses her cash flow? Whenever you do velocity banking properly, right? You get an accountability partner, you start doing this, you never lose your cash flow in the processo. Ready? So if you were to times that number by 10 years, I believe, she'll have $500,000 in hard cash, right? Whether it's in a mixture of her lines of credits, equity, and then literally just cash on hand, literally, right? On top of the money in both policies, on top of equity, debt, good debt. So that's well over $1 million, right? In a 15-year period. And we haven't even started investing yet, right? And this is where I like to really educate, like shift your mindset on how you build a foundation in your personal finances, and then how you step into investing, right? And I like to just go off of what successful people do, right? So a guy like Grant Cardone, he has this rule where he's like, look, before you even invest money, have 100 grand in cash, right? And then before you do that, save 40% of your income and store it in an asset that's going to produce income, right? Now, his driving force is real estate, right? And I'm totally cool with that. So here's how I'm going to split storage money from investments, okay? So on the storage side, boom, we have insurance, which is also your estate planning, right? Trust, will, attorney, doctor, lawyers, right? You getting building your team, okay? Some other unique things that you can get into, that you can apply to your kingdom, to your household, just to have, right? Gold, silver, farmland, oil, okay? Vacant land, charity, giving, okay? She gives to this channel. She helps this young guy right here build his kingdom, build his household, his family, right? Up from very little to a sustainable business, sustainable income, sustainable lifestyle, right? So she gets it, giving, right? And she's starting. And she's also going to give to other areas, right? A church, an organization, a nonprofit, maybe something along the SDGs with the UN, who knows, right? That's storage money. That money protects your investments. It protects your cash. It protects everything, your life, everything, okay? Now, investments, whenever you think investment, you should be thinking multiplication of money, not growth, right? This is growth, 4, 6%, 8%, right? That is growth. Investment is like 50%, 100%, like double whatever your number. $1 becomes 2, okay? $1 million, 2 million. That's an investment to me. Anything below that is what I call growth. Growing the foundation, growing the finances to enable us to multiply money, okay? So that's where we go into real estate, like Uncle G says, right? You got, man, come on. Real estate's land, period. Acquire. How can she acquire more real estate? She can easily use equity first before using this, and then what? Pay herself back. Or she can use one or the two of the policies, and then what? Pay herself back, right? When the real estate property or rental or vacant lot, whatever it is, when it makes a what? A profit, she collects principal, pays herself back to whatever debt weapon she used, and then keeps profit, reinvest the profit to avoid taxes. I know I'm talking to someone. Sustainable business, all right? Think of anything. What do you like? Sir, ma'am, right? What are you guys into? What do you care about? Invest in a sustainable business. Find a successor. Is it your children? Is it a niece, a nephew? Someone that's going to continue to grow your legacy, right? Your legacy is everything in this life. What are you building? What are you leaving behind? What is your impact on this world? Because you only get one life, right? Then I just wrote different things like, hey, you know, she can play around, invest in major currencies. She can invest in a stock company, right? Or she can just, you know, stay in the real estate. I know we were talking about that, real estate. And then just continue to build your debt weapons, your assets, cash, hard cash, all that. And then continue storing money to hedge against the investment money. And last but not least, the kingdom. Establishing kingdom authority in her household. Anyone that comes into her kingdom, when I come into her kingdom and I check it out, and I'm like, wow, look at the furniture and the carpets and the discipline and the morals, right, and the food and everything, just the passion. You walk into someone's kingdom, you see how they live, how they serve people. This is huge. This is huge. I hope I'm talking to someone. All right. So this is a quick lesson on the infinite banking concept, how we apply velocity banking. Hey, if you want to get more information, okay, if you want to learn more, either on the infinite banking side, or maybe you're in the same position as her with a lot of debt, and you're like, Denzel, let's do some velocity banking, and you still have some good cash flow where we can, you know, store that into an asset, let that build for us as we're wiping out debt. Cool, let's have a conversation. My name is Denzel. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll have links in the description where you can reach out to me. You'll have my information. You can email me, okay? You can check out my Patreon page. It's a way to give to the channel and continue to receive more information, more topics, more ways of what? Wiping out debt, increasing cash flow, lowering expenses, raising your credit score, all using your own income. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.